Brother Nature went from being one of the most influential creators in the world to becoming drastically disliked by basically every single one of his fans, and this all took place in the span of 15 minutes. How can such a beloved character online completely throw away everything he has built up? Well, this is the story of Calvin Pena, also known as Brother Nature. And it starts way back on August 2nd, 2016, when Brother Nature posted his first video to the platform titled Meet My New Pet. Calvin was outside eating crackers with his pet deer named Money. Keep in mind, this was back in the time where you didn't need crazy editing or any special talents online to blow up, so Calvin instantly found himself with a small fanbase after the one singular upload. Hey Calvin, I'm from Brazil and I really enjoy your videos. Keep posting them and send Money my love. OMG, you're so amazing and I love Money. Calvin's love for animals and courageous personality quickly led him to become an online sensation, and even posting these videos to Twitter managed to gain him such success as well. As Brother Nature continued to film videos with the deer that were appearing in his backyard, he eventually got himself onto the local news and had people meet up with him in real life to take pictures and even have a simple chat. As Brother Nature continued to skyrocket online, he took this chance at success and began to do more good for the world instead of just filming animals. He used his YouTube account to create longer videos, which are more in-depth encounters with wildlife, and also the importance of respecting nature. And it wasn't long until a company by the name Super Deluxe created a short documentary titled Deer Squad, where Calvin was the main character and they went around explaining his day-to-day life living with his deer. In the film, Pena explains the genesis of his special relationship with animals. I named the deer Money just straight off the dome, he says. It was the first thing that came to my mind, cause I love money and I felt like I loved the deer. I was like, man, this is lit, but it only took less than a week for fans to start criticizing the entire documentary. Calvin was accused of feeding the deer unhealthy foods such as powdered donuts, but as we see in future videos, Calvin actually listened to everyone and began feeding them organic fruits instead. Safe to say, Calvin was in the clear for this one, and that goes to show his honest internet personality. Instead of ignoring everyone else online, he listened and began doing what was right. But comparing this to the massive controversy that turned his life upside down, this riot only seems minuscule to what was to come. As Brother Nature continued to rise in his fame online, so did the hatred and jealousy. Some people accused him of exploiting the use of animals for personal gain, as Calvin was able to make a pretty stable income from doing all of this. Haters claimed that his interactions with wildlife were unnatural and potentially harmful, whilst at the same time there was a whole different group of people that were concerned about his qualifications in handling wild animals, putting himself and others at risk. And they're not all entirely wrong. The way Brother Nature easily approaches deer makes it seem like they are the nicest animals in the world. A user on Twitter stated the following: Brother Nature got y'all thinking every deer is just gonna let you touch it, as the person behind the camera slowly makes its way up to the deer, but then it violently attacked and forced the person to run away. What didn't help is that this was all during the time where Calvin was dealing with both anxiety and depression, which would have added another layer on top of what he's already facing, as he had to maintain that positive image that his career began with. But when we travel forward to December 2019, this is where he really got his name out in the public eye, but for the completely wrong reason. Brother Nature had visited Miami one week for a beach cleanup event, and the first 6 days of his holiday were perfectly normal. Calvin was having a great time, cleaning up with other volunteers and enjoying the scenery of Florida, all whilst having a few drinks every day. But on the night before he was going home, Brother Nature and a girl he was out with decided to head to a local pizza shop before calling it a night. The line at the shop was super long, but Calvin claimed that one of the employees allowed him to come forward and skip the queue, so he went and took a seat at one of the tables. This was well past midnight at this point, so the entire store was closed up except for the bar where everyone had to sit to get served. But instead of doing so, Brother Nature went to one of the tables and took the chairs down. The manager of the store had noticed this and began yelling at Calvin for doing the wrong thing and that he should be escorted out of the store, but Brother Nature repeatedly yelled back that one of the employees allowed him to do so, and by this point, everyone in the store had their eyes drawn right to Calvin. Then, out of nowhere, a guy across the bar seems to insult the girl that Brother Nature was with, and this is where Calvin had enough. Calvin and the man both began to prepare for a fight, but after the first fist was thrown, Brother Nature walked out to his car as he didn't want to fight, but he ultimately came back into the shop and then he had a full-on fight with the man in the store. The following day, Calvin posted to his Twitter, "I know there's a video out of me getting jumped. Everyone in the pizza shop literally just watched with their phones out and did nothing, oh well." Then he went on to share a second tweet, a video this time, showing himself holding an ice pack to his swollen face. Brother Nature thought everyone would be on his side, but things took a turn for the worst when literally everybody in the comments realized that he was in the wrong, as he shouldn't have pushed in line to begin with, sit down where he wasn't supposed to, and the fact that he was actually the one that threw the first punch in the fight altogether, and this was all it took to destroy his entire reputation and everything he had built up over the years. As when taking a look to his YouTube channel, he hasn't posted in nearly 4 years, and although his Instagram looks like it's doing well with 1.6 million followers and a verification tick, when taking a look at his social blade, it becomes clear that he's losing roughly 400 followers a day, and as this has been going on for 4 years now, this becomes one of the worst looking graphs possible to exist.